Hello, all you hardcores out there. How we doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, biggest gob in sport. Today we're joined by Gerry from Belfast. How you doing, Gerry? Are you there, Gerry? What are you doing to me, Gerry?
Oh, hang on, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Well, not very good, Gerry. Are you speaking to your mic?
Yep. Can you hear me now?
I can hardly hear you. I can hear you a little bit, mate.
Geez, that's really strange. I've got the volume up here, like, so I don't know what's going on. Right, what
How
about
you
now?
doing? Is that better?
Yep. I was trying to get it where I could set the phone down somewhere because I don't know why it's so quiet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Gerry, you're going to have to speak up, mate, because I'm fully turned up here on mine, so it's your end, mate. You're not got your volume up.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, mate. How are you doing?
I'm all right. What about you?
I'm all right, mate. I can only see top of your
Yeah.
head. How are you doing? I like that green you've got going on in background, Gerry. Was that because you're Irish?
That's what I call the green room.
The green room. Well, did you know that kind of colour? If you've got that on a wall, you don't need a green screen, for the CGI.
Right. So if ever wanted my own special effects, I can
Now
just do
what?
them in this room.
Yeah, we have to buy one of them. It's like a big, it's like a green sort of circular netting spot sort of thing that they use in studios and that. But if you've got that colour, we don't need to buy one. So we'll have to use your house if we do any CGI, Gerry.
No problem. Just give me a wee bit of notice and I can get that sorted out for you, okay?
No problem. How you been?
Not bad. You know, a bit depressed to be back from work after Christmas holidays and all that. But what can you do?
Yeah, yeah. Could you speak a bit more clearly into the thing, mate, if you can, please?
Yeah, this is real
That's it.
weird.
You need to come a bit closer to your mic, Gerry. You should know this with being a singer.
Well, I don't sing, but can you hear me now, mate?
I can hear you now, mate. I can hear you now. What did you watch boxing last night, Gerry? That's what we need to talk about. What did you think?
I watched it this morning. Uh, just just the main event. I didn't watch any of the undercard. I didn't want to stay up all night and wait for that fight. What time was it on? About five?
Yeah.
No, it was on quite late anyway, so I made sure I didn't get the result pop up anywhere, and I went looking for it online and watched it this morning, and I knew given the time of the video, it wasn't going to be a full 12 rounds, so I was had my fingers crossed that my prediction was going to be right. Um, but obviously, watching the fight, it went pretty much as I was expecting it to go. Um, and he done him in a round earlier than I was predicting. So I was close. I was close.
Yeah. Tell me, Gerry, with your smooth accent and your Magnum tash, do you get much minge over there?
Hang
Hey.
on. I'll just say to my fiance here. Um, believe it or not, no, it's not a very popular look, but
What, the
I don't
tash?
care.
The muzzy?
Well, whenever I grew mine, it wasn't very popular. So I was about 10 years, maybe over 10 years ago. But you know that movie Top Gun?
Yeah, goose.
So last year the sequel came out, and
You didn't audition for it, did you, Gerry?
I did no, I didn't. I was just starting a new job, so I didn't have time, Russ. But
No, go on, lad.
what I was gonna say was, apparently the young people of today were they got influenced by a character in that movie, and apparently mustaches kind of made a wee bit of a comeback. And right enough, I do see some people who've got mustaches now, and I'm kind of like, you bastards! I had that like fucking 15 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're flying flag for muzzies, aren't you, Gerry?
Yeah, you don't need to wait till November.
Last time I seen a tash like that, it were Terry McDermott, who played for Liverpool. You know,
What
Terry
about
Mac.
Stefan?
Did you watch Mondo's performance? What did you make of it, Gerry? To be honest,
Um, Mondo, what was it? What can you say about Mondo? I thought Beterbiev was brilliant. I thought Beterbiev was a lot. There was something different about his performance. You know, wasn't just out there kind of. It was like he was fighting more clever this time than the last time I watched him fight. And do you know remember the first round? He just like stuck it on Mondo like first few seconds,
yeah,
which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought he was going to be a little bit more methodical, but he just ran out of the blocks and started hitting Mondo, and I knew the shots were hard. But I thought Mondo was going to box from the outside a little bit more, use his jab, and try and keep Turviv off him. But I don't think he did that at all. And you know, he did lie on the ropes quite a bit as well, which even Tim Bradley said, you know, that's a habit of his, and that's not what you want to be with Turviev, like, you know what I mean? So to me, uh, what can I say? I always thought Turviev was going to win that fight. I'm no expert, like, but I thought he was going to win it, and he did. And I've never really thought Callum Smith is fantastic, you know, good European level / borderline world level fighter. Maybe he's overachieved, you know. He's been inactive for was that like a year and a half or something?
yeah.
You know, what did he expect? I think if he had been more active, he maybe would have made it a more of a competitive fight with Beterbiev, right? But yeah, I mean, he just got steamrolled. I didn't give him a round.
I didn't give him a round, but two judges gave him 2 rounds, didn't they?
Well, that's nonsense, isn't it?
Well, I don't know what they were looking at really to be giving him rounds.
What round was it? He had a bit of success in the middle, and then
Fourth,
was
wasn't
that the
it?
same? Say it again.
Didn't he hang on, I've got judges' scorecards here. Let me just get these scorecards up. Here we are. Here we are. Right, the scorecards. Look, here's the judges' cards. First judge, can hardly read. You can hardly read the writing, so you can't hardly read the names on this.
It's
But
like
we'll
spaghetti.
read. We'll read. Pardon?
It's like spaghetti.
Yeah, we'll read the scorecards. Right.
Yeah.
The judges they gave Cala Beterbiev round one. Hang on. They actually gave Smith. One judge gave him round two. The other judge gave him round two, and the other one didn't. Well, look, at the time of stoppage, it was look, 58, 56, 58, 56, 59, 55. So we were 4 rounds up, 2 rounds up, and two rounds up. I don't know how they gave him 2 rounds. How did he get 2 rounds out of them judges? I don't. In one round off one judge. He never won 2 rounds.
Oh, what was the
Nobody gave him a round. No Ring Magazine lads or Boxing News lads. No, none of it. Boxing News lads. Nobody gave him a round. Two judges gave him 2 rounds. They gave him the fifth.
Oh, the fifth.
Sorry. The sixth and the second for two judges, and the other one gave him just the fifth. Now,
No
how
way.
could the judges gave him the sixth? He was hanging on for dear life in six, wasn't he? But yet, two of
Yeah.
these judges gave him the sixth, and they gave him the second one as well. I mean, what were they doing? Where do they feel like they have to do that because they can't get the other guy all the rounds? I mean, do you get that just for turning up, or are you guaranteed at least out of the first 6 rounds they're going to give you 2 for not trying? So if you do 12 rounds, you're going to get at least 4 rounds off the judges for not trying. This is how they're making mistakes, because what if he comes on strong, Callum, in next 6 rounds and wins them all, and then they're arguing about them 2? It should have been a draw, shouldn't it? This is the situation where they're trying to balance the books. I catch them out every time. I just think these judges don't know what they're doing.
I think before you said that, I actually was going to say to you, I think they're sympathy rounds.
Yeah, but what happens if Mondo has a barnstormer and wins the final 6 rounds, and say that 7th round didn't happen? He's 4-2 down, right? 4
Yeah.
rounds to 2 down after 6. And then he steams the next 6. So that means it's 8-4 to Callum. But really, it shouldn't have been, because the other guy had the first 6. And this is the argument we had. I know it's not needed now because it's a knockout, but this is the argument that people have had with the Anthony Yard fight. The judges had Anthony Yard beating Beterbiev, right? He never won a round in that fight, in my opinion. Not one fucking round against Yard. Let's say you could give Yard a share of 1 or even 1. Yard won't win in that fight when he got stopped. And I think Beterbiev, he must have come over to London and thought, I'm going to knock this guy here out, so I'm going to get shafted here otherwise. He lets his fists do the talking, but Yard weren't winning that fight, and Mondo didn't win 2 rounds. So what's the answer?
I don't know. Geez, I don't know. It was ESPN I watched, so I can't remember the guy's scorecard, but he had Beterbiev winning every round, so that's madness.
I know world champions who didn't get Mondo around. Listen, we're just calling it as we see it on this channel. People get so insecure if you're critical, but I never gave him around. I don't really care what anybody else said, because I've watched it 5 times now. With the actual breaks, it's a 24-minute fight with the actual breaks. So it's not long to go and watch it. But my personal opinion is he was shattered when he went down the first time, because he'd been made to work. He'd had it all his own way, his whole career. And you're made to work, and that's what happens. Do I feel sorry for him? No, he's a multi-millionaire. Don't feel sorry for me. It's his job. He had a bad day at the office, but he were ill prepared, in my opinion. 18-month inactivity. I mean, who's he got around him? No. Who's that biasing him?
Do you think if he had been better prepared, do you think he would have won that fight?
No, I don't, because that guy's jab's best jab I've seen for years. George Groves has got a fantastic jab, but if you look at his jab, it's angled and it's like a dart, and it just keeps, he's like picking away all the time. Pick. Just as you get your feet set, he's hit you again, and just as you're trying to get your concentration, he hits you again. You reset your feet, and then you're having to shake your head because your concentration goes. And I could see what were happening. It were unfolding in front of his eyes. It was very uncomfortable for him in there. So he's a tough kid, and he's toughed it out, but we're out his depth, mate. Absolutely out of his depth.
Every time Mondo tried to throw, what was he throwing? It's like throwing like at the left. Beterbiev found a little gap between his Mondo's right hand and just got right in. You know what I mean? Stupidly trying to show you that, even though you can only see my face. But anyway.
Yeah.
So I thought that was so clever, and like he was just finding all these little gaps, and every punch was like a real stinger. Do you know what I mean? It was like there was, I don't know, that guy's got crazy punch power. Like he's a very, very strong man. You know, so he dismantled him, and that's what I thought was going to happen. Yeah, what can I say?
It were an old school beatdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I was impressed with Smith. His face was a mess. Did you see the interview after where he said he hadn't been hurt by him at all until the knockdown, which is
Well, they're
absolute
going to say
bullshit.
that. They're going to say that, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know why people have to be just if the guy beat you, he beat you. If he hurt you, just say it. Like I mean, he's going to be fucking retired anyway, probably. You know what I mean? So, um, did you say as well? But Turbiev went over to see if he was all right, and he told him to fuck off.
Yeah, he went over to see if we're all right, and Beefy Smith turned to him and dealt with him, didn't he? It's his brother, isn't it? You're going to expect that, aren't you?
Yeah, classy.
Well, I mean, when Beefy got beat against Eubank, oh yeah, well, I'm not going to give no excuses, but, look, end of the day, if you get beat, own it, don't you? You got to
Yeah,
own it.
absolutely.
Now, on another day, it might have been different, but his tools were not sharp. Nobody's saying he can't fight, but his tools were not sharp. He's been inactive. He was undeserving of a chance to fight that guy. Very undeserving.
Yeah, how did they make that?
I mean,
How did they make him? Because of his name?
uh,
Because
well,
he's a
more than
Smith?
likely, he had an high ranking. When you've got Eddie Hills behind you, they can lobby for your ranking to get you into mandatory position. He's had 2 fights before yesterday as a light heavyweight, 2 rounds and 4 rounds against nobody. So he's had a quarter of an hour in the ring, and lo and behold, he's mandatory. That's how it works in boxing. If you've got a powerful promoter behind you, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But my argument is this: he should have had at least 2 more fights in that division to grow into that weight and become accustomed to it. But he
Yeah.
went for a big American trainer. Before he knew best, his trainer didn't give a shit. He's just there for money. He didn't even have any urgency to stop it when he got in the ring. He was like, he wasn't jumping up and down. One of most trainers broke towel and they go running in, don't they? Like that guy who saved Butte. He went charging into the ring to save his guy, didn't he? This guy didn't, did he?
What? That was the weirdest. Is he not supposed to stay outside the ring until the fight's over? He's meant to throw a towel in. Isn't that the rules? I
Yeah,
thought
but
there was
if
a
you
rule.
want to stop the fight, you can throw a towel or you can jump in, can't you? He jumped in. Look, they were going to stop it anyway. Let's have it right. He was done, wasn't he? His goose was cooked.
I have to say as well, just about the last knockdown, I actually think Smith fell on the floor on purpose because he just didn't want to be punched anymore.
Do you
That's
think?
how it looked. It looked like, I think one of the commentators mentioned that sort of the way I seen it was it looked like he didn't have anywhere to fall down or be punched down to the ground, and he just kind of collapsed between him and Beterbiev because he was getting battered, So that's how I think it looked. The first knockdown obviously was an actual knockdown, but to me it looked like he just wanted to get out, so he just collapsed himself on the canvas. It didn't look like an actual single punch, sent him right down. It was like an accumulation, and he's just, your body's telling you get out of there. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. That's
Yeah.
my theory anyway.
What did you think to Terry's comments saying that this is what Terry's put? Some
Right.
uncomfortable boxing truths. Maybe Callum Smith was never better than British level based on his CV. We entertain the Smith family too much. None of our boxers are world level. Buddy McGirt is fast becoming the American Adam Move. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I've kind of alluded to that about the Smiths earlier, so I agree. I don't know what it is, but, like, people get behind a group of brothers. They like that they like that dynamic group of fighting brothers fighting for Britain. Different levels of success from each one. Obviously, Callum Smith, you probably would say would be the most successful. But yeah, it's been a little bit blown out of proportion for who they are, what they've achieved. Still can't believe they're as rich as you kind of were saying. I can't believe he's a multi-millionaire. Like if he's you know, I don't think he's ever been the best. When he won the Super Six, like
He won the
all
Super
right,
60 World Boxing Super Series, wasn't it?
sorry, that tournament. I knew he won the tournament. But I just didn't. We never have had those guys down for being, if you were to talk to someone who didn't say know any better, they would think those guys were all like the greatest ever. Do you know what I mean? Like because the name sort of has value because of the way they've been marketed. That way.
Yeah.
So uh, Terry's absolutely right. Is that the end of them now? You know,
No, we've still got tennis ball there, don't we? Bivie, he still needs a pension check, doesn't he, before he pisses off.
really? Damn. Yeah,
So,
well, there you go. Can't get rid of them as quickly as we maybe would like, but we're not being like mean about it either. It's just like you really have like you've gotten longevity like out of it, more than you probably should have.
okay. What did you think to leading up to the fight? All the talk was about obviously uh, drug testing and this and that. And did you think it were in bad taste, all
I'll be honest with you, I did not catch any of that, right? But from the small amount of information I've picked up is someone pointing the finger at Beterbiev for taking some kind of banned substance. Is that right?
that? Yeah.
What is it? They're saying he's supposed to have taken.
No, he's shot. He's tested. Let me just read. I'll read it out to you. He's tested for some eye in his blood or something, which your body produces if you train hard. Right? He hasn't
Right.
failed. There's no adverse findings, but they've sort of like intertwined it as like a red flag kind of thing, aren't they? The powers that be, you know what I mean, kind of thing. I just wonder what your take were on that, or because he basically. He put a statement out, didn't he? And he said he's going to make him pay for that. So,
Callum Smith.
no, Gerry, you're not listening to me. But Callum Smith's team, Eddie Hills and them, right,
Yeah.
were putting statements out, doing interviews, associating Beterbia's name with a failed dope test, which didn't happen. It weren't a failed dope test.
Right.
He put a statement out then saying they were going to make him pay for that and there'd be legal action and blah, blah, blah. Then everybody retracted it and retreated and like those good old people in boxing do. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
kind of thing. I just wonder what
Well,
your take on it all.
that's the equivalent of smear, isn't it? Really, it's like a smear campaign. So that is really bad taste, in my opinion.
I'll read it out to
Beterbiev,
you, Gerry. Gerry, let me read it out to you because I think you're confused, man. Right, R to B to B statement. It has come to my attention that Callum Smith intends to disseminate misleading information about my VADA testing for this fight. Let me be clear now. I am a clean athlete. I've never tested positive for a banned substance throughout my career. Any attempt to imply otherwise through innuendo or suggestion is slanderous and libelous. This conduct is beyond acceptable trash talk. Callum is already searching for excuses, looking for a way out. I'll see you on Saturday. Yours, R2 B2B, Mr. Relentless.
fantastic, mate. That's brilliant. Yeah. Um, I'm all about athletes who want to back up the fact that they're behind themselves 100%. They know they're clean. Beterbiev's a religious guy, as far as I know, so
Yeah.
he'd be all very much about doing things properly. Do you know what I mean? So I like that. I like that statement. That's a good statement.
Yeah.
I, I think that's low class from those other guys putting that out there. Like,
Yeah. Where do you see Batavia now in pound for pound list? Do you put him up there with Crawford, I know you, and Usyk and Tank?
Well, my top five pound for pound was pretty much exactly the same as yours. Before that fight, I was to and froing between Bivol and Beterbiev.
What for the fifth,
Um,
for the fourth spot?
yeah, yeah. Um, because I think Bivol was brilliant in his last performance against Lyndon Arthur.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought he was magic. But that to me, that's two really good performances now. You've got Bivol, that was a good performance, and Beterbiev, that's a good performance. Jeez, I want to see that fight. Like,
Yeah, if Bivol and Batavia get at it, that'll be good for the fans, won't it?
yeah, I don't know who I would choose. I really don't know.
Well, I do. I'm going to go for Batavia on that. But like, it's two different fighters, isn't it? Two
Yeah,
different styles. Kent will be getting all excited about that one, won't he?
that's good though. We like that. We like it when Kent gets
Oh,
excited about stuff.
yeah. Uh, okay. Eddie Hills, where does he go now with Callum? Because he's not really put any money into him. He's fighting away from home. When he fought in that tournament, he fought final away from home. I think he fought a couple away from home, didn't he? He's been fighting abroad his last few fights. In fact, I'm going to tell you, last time Callum Smith fought at home. Let me have a look here. No, 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 let's have a look. I think he's been fighting abroad, hasn't he? John Ryder. I think it was John Ryder last time he fought in UK.
Oh,
Oh
was that?
no, it wasn't actually. He fought at Tottenham Hotspur's ground, didn't he? In 2021.
I
He
don't
fought in
know.
Jeddah last time out. Callum Smith's profile at UK. He reminds me of some giant mute. He don't do a ticket. He don't do interviews. He just don't want to speak to anybody. I can understand why it's hard for promoters to get behind him. But it's a bit similar with Yui, isn't it? Yui's not as engaging, but he's more engaging than Callum. But it seems like to get on, you've got to kiss arse and do loads of interviews, haven't you, really, to get popular? Or your talent's got to be really, really good, hasn't it? Because Batavia's not big on interviews. I know you isn't. Crawford in and Usyk. But they all go about the business, don't they? You don't see
Yeah.
them hanging out at the back of IFL every day, do you? Like Dylan White and all the rest of them, do you?
No, we don't.
They let the fists do the talking. But at the moment, Gerry, I can't split. I know you, Crawford, Usyk, and Better Beef. I can't split them for me at the moment.
That is that a good thing though? Is that like
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
good
and you
position?
could throw Bivol in there as a fifth one, Tank a sixth one, and Devon Haney as a seven. Them seven are at the top of their game, so let's enjoy them while we can. None of them have got drug issues. I think out of all of them, the only one, and he don't really shout it about, but he's a bit lively outside the box, and he's tanking it. The rest of them all keep their heads down, don't they? And I think that's great for the sport. Me, I really, really do. They're great guys that we all want to watch. They pay per view every time. And listen, if I had to pay my pay per view if I didn't have that stick, I would. I'd pay it for them because that's the cream of the crop who we want to see in it. These
Yeah,
sort of guys. You know what I
I
mean?
agree.
They're at the top of the
Yeah.
game. So that's how I look at it. But
Um,
okay. Well,
sorry, go ahead.
hey, Gerry, you're mumbling to me. Speak into your microphone, Gerry. Don't mumble.
I'm trying not to. I, can you hear me now? Okay, yeah.
I can hear you, mate. Yeah. Do you want me to send you the
Yeah.
microphone, Gerry?
I'll try my headphones the next time.
Did you see Bob Arum sat next to Ring and in Ring at end? He's knocking on a bit now, the old soldier, but he's still there, isn't he?
Yeah, I can't believe that. What is he, 86 or something?
93.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's 90 odd. But Arum 93, I think he is, isn't he, Arum? Have a look on here. I'll tell you how old he is. Let me
Jesus.
just Google the Bob Farber.
Do it.
Hang on. The Bob Farber. Let's have a look.
Did you type that in?
Yeah, I can't come up. Hang on a minute. He's 93 this year.
Unbelievable.
Born in Brooklyn, educated at New York University and Harvard Law School. Uh, yeah. Oh, Bob Arum. First promoted Ali in 1966. Jesus.
I was gonna say he's 93. I think Don King's a bit younger.
93 is this year. He'll do well to see. He'll do well to get to 95. It looks at him, but he's doped out of his mind on really strong, powerful skunk in here all day. Apparently,
Well, I didn't know that until I seen your video the other day.
yeah,
Is he?
yeah,
Is he?
yeah. He's doped up all the time. Hey,
Is that for medicinal purposes? Is it, or
I don't know
is
because
he?
in some states over there you can have it, but I've heard he's stoned out of his head. It's funny actually because Bob Aaron, when Dennis's dad were dying, he were on his deathbed and we were all at this house in Burley. And I
Yeah,
remember sat next to him. There were people were coming and going, and I remember sat there this day, and he rung Dennis Bob Aaron to ask how his dad were, which I thought were really nice. And
that
there you
is
get
really
on.
nice.
And Dennis says he's a bit of a lad, old Bob Aaron, bit of a chap. And he's obviously been to his house, Dennis, and that, and years ago when they were working together. But he's not really bothered. He's pretty fearless, but they reckon he rolls them like in like an ice cream cone. Like a really fit, he can roll them really, really good. So he's having the time of his life, isn't he, Bob Arum at the moment? And that might be why he's still going strong because he's having that, because it's from the earth, isn't it? All herbal, isn't it?
Yeah, it never really agreed with me, if I'm honest. It made me feel like I was going bonkers. But if it works for Bob Arum, fair play to him. He's had a good run, like 93 coming. He's been, promoting for years. He's had loads of orgies with Muhammad Ali. I'm sure you've heard about that stuff. That's what he said
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, him and Ali used to get at it. I mean, that birdie's with now, Bob Arum. He was punching when he pulled her. She's knocking on a bit now, but when he pulled her back in the day, everybody were like, wow, he's been married to her 30 odd year, but he was punching way above his weight when he got her. But it is what it is. I bet she's done all his readies in, I bet years.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I was gonna say. I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm sure she's well looked after. Like, but if he's happy, like, he's happy. But you know, I think Don King has dementia now. Is that right?
Don King has got something, mate. He won't be missed, will he? There'll be nobody at his funeral, I know that.
I know. I was just going to make the comparison that it's just unbelievable. Like,
Oh, they're still
because I
going strong, aren't they, them two? Yeah, they're still going strong, and that'll be
yeah.
what'll happen to him. But if he's able out in his mind, it might not.
Yeah,
Now,
well, that's true.
Don King's 93 this year as well. They're still going strong, aren't they?
I thought he was younger. I don't know why that, but yeah. Is he still going strong?
Well, they say he is, yeah, he's still doing the business, but these are legendary promoters. But the thing is, you see, it's that good money for them. They just won't jog on, will they? They should be parked up in a Shackleton's high seat chair somewhere, shouldn't they, really? Them old biddy chairs they have in homes.
Yeah, I mean, they've what more can they give? Why do they need any more money? I'm sure their families are set for life. Everybody's taken care of. What the hell do they need to continue for? Do they really love it that much? Like, when was the last time Don King was relevant? Value Eve? Was that even important?
I know,
Nikolai
yeah.
Value. That's
This,
the that's the last. Go ahead.
no, go on.
That's the last big name I can remember of Don King's. He wasn't
Yeah,
even big.
yeah.
He
Well,
was inside.
He brought that love joy over, didn't he? That was his last hurrah, wasn't it? But he was
Yeah,
born in
that's
1931.
yeah, that's the guy who Dave Allen was going to fight, and he was a complete nerd. It was just a what was that all about?
David had put him on Button Moon with them 100
Oh,
John Fury put up there, wasn't he?
definitely, that was all very very dodgy. It was like Lovejoy or whatever the hell he was called. wasn't allowed to fight at the last minute. It was all very, very dodgy because of his promoter said he couldn't fight. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, listen, that's what Don King does. They try and dislodge other people. Don't obviously his marbles have gone now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Let's have a look at Don King. Is he in good health? No, he's not in good health. Still longs, but he's shining else. He still longs to be in the mix, Don King, it says here, but yeah, he's finished as a top line promoter. But
Definitely.
what are the time, Gerry? Listen, it's been great to have you on. How are you?
I'm all
You
right.
all
I'm all
right?
right.
Good man. When
I'm
you gonna get that haircut?
all-
Hey,
uh, hang on to it for a bit longer.
hang on to a bit longer. All right then, Gerry. Well, listen, it's been great to have you on, and I'll speak to you again. Pop, pop, bang.
No worries. Take it easy, mate.
Cheers, Gerry.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. That was Gerry from Belfast. Women love him, men want to be him. Great to have him on. We'll be having him on again. And that's about it, really. Get ready for Aberdeen Andy now. The mumbling jock. Go on, peace out.